Okay, good morning. I think we will start because it is only 1 hour class and we can't wait long time for them to join. So yesterday we saw some of the architectural modifications to for a elderly people or for a disabled people. So this architectural modifications have to be done in the home, in the society, and in the workplace also. So all these are like few of the modifications. So you need to see according to the disability. You need to check what are the modifications they need, and you have to give a detailed picture for the architecture or the vocational evaluator or a trainer to so that he can arrange for all those things in the workplace as well as in the community. But the government as such have to plan in a broader way or earlier itself to design about this architectural modification. So they have to plan and they have to do it accordingly. So now like we will see some of the modifications that need to be done for our ADL activities. So for example, feeding. So people who are very old and had some impaired hand function, or people who are having any stroke or any arthritis or any other problem, and because of that, if they are not able to move their fingers properly, if they are not able to hold or grasp the fingers properly, then we can go for some modifications. So some of the modifications are like the mugs with two handles. So the because the people will have sometimes the people will have shaking movements, or sometimes like Parkinson's, if you see, like they will be having tremors and other things. So or elderly, if you see, sometimes they will not be able to hold the cup properly. So for all these people, you can go for mugs with two handles. So if they hold with both the hands, then it will be easy for them to drink it. Then scooper bowl or nosy cutout cup or adopted chopsticks. You can see here. So the cups with two handles. Okay. Then this is for nosy cut. So when they are drinking, sometimes it may hinder their nose. So you can go for this nosy cutouts. Okay, then you can see here this is an extra attachment for the spoon. So they can, instead of holding in the finger between the fingers, they can tie up the spoon in the palm and they will be able to eat it. Okay, so this is for people who are having very finer. If they don't have finer pinching movement, then they can go for this broader spoon. Then adopted chopsticks. Then if you see like the bowl and other things should be of plastic, so that they don't transmit the hot outside. Then they don't slip. So this is an anti-slippery finishing under the bowl. So all these are some of the modifications which can be used for their feeding. So in case if you are if you are giving training for any neurological patient who are having hand difficulties or the hand functions are affected, then you can use this kind of, you can advise them to have this kind of modifications in for their feeding purpose. And this is for some like for people who are having difficulty in finer movements, and people who are having difficulty to reach out the flow, and people who have difficulty to hold something very fine. So this is a adaptation which will be helping you to button the shirts. So can you see, like it will help you to button the shirts. So with the other hand, if the finer pinch is not possible, then you will not be able to button yourself. So that's why they are giving an adaptation, so that you can increase your independency. Otherwise you need to check for other people, or check for people who will be helping you to button your shirts. Okay, this is for wearing the shoe, and this is for wearing the socks. Okay, so for these kind of activities also you have some modifications like this. Then next is regarding the drugs. So for example, most of the time if you see, the elders or people who are having neurological problem will have memory loss and will have difficulty in hand functions. So they will not be able to take out their own drugs and eat it properly, or sometimes they will be eating like they will not check properly, they will be missing the tablets, they will be missing the they will be taking it wrongly. So for to avoid all these things, like you can go for something called drug organizer, and drug pill splitter and pill crusher. So if you see here, this is the drug organizer. So for each and every time, so this is morning, that is breakfast time, lunch, dinner, then during bedtime. So like this you have to arrange. You can open the tablet and you can arrange for 7 days, that is 1 week. You can arrange it, so people, elderly people, they can open that particular box alone and they will be eating it. And this is the drug splitter, so where you can keep it, and when they close it, automatically it will come as a powdered form. This is also a drug crusher. So if they want to crush medicines, tablets, and they have to dissolve in a water and drink, then also they can use this kind of thing. So elderly, those who have a problem in the hand will find it very easy for them to do these activities independently. And this is something like you can use this again. This is also for hand impaired hand function only, like jar opener, then key like household key opening, then bottle openers and all those things. So if you see here, so if they are not able to open the knob, so when the knob is very small and you need to hold it tightly to open it, they may not be able to open the knob. So for that they have an extra hook kind of a device. So this is, since it is having a knob kind of thing, it is easy for them to hold it and open the knob. Okay, so this can be used for any water filter or anything. So this is an extra attachment over the key, the yellow color one. So they will be attaching over the key, and they can just fix it over the key and they can use it to open. So this is for bottle opening. So these people, like when they are living alone, they need some kind of all these kind of adaptation. Otherwise they will be looking for people who are helping them. The next is like this one, we normally use it for our, even for the kids, we will be using it. This is edge protected. So when they walk, they will unknowingly, if they hit it, or if they are if they are hitting, then it may damage their skin. Sometimes it may also lead to very serious injury, like head injury, or very serious injury also can happen. So to avoid that, you can go for this kind of edge protector. So this edge protector can be used in the tables, in any cupboards, or even the doors. All these areas like window doors also, you can use this edge protector, so that even if they hit it unknowingly, it will not hurt them. Then this is something like night light. So people sometimes they will not be able to they will not be uh, a, able to use it in case if they are having very if they are not able to switch on the lights and other thing. So like this kind of light will be this will be utilizing a very lesser current capacity. That's why you can use this throughout the day. Even if it is on also, nothing will happen. So that is a kind of a night light. Nowadays we have got one more night lights. So you can just fix it under the table, or under the table or somewhere like that. So once there is a shadow, there will be a sensor, and once there is a shadow, when they get down, if they have a shadow, immediately the light will glow. So for people who don't like to have lights during the night time, who wants to sleep in dark, and suddenly when they want to get up and walk, if they want to, if they're not able to switch on the light, then you can use this kind of lights. So which will help them to avoid any fall in the dark, or avoid hitting any obstacle in the pathway. Then this is for something like mobility. So when they want to uh, get up by themselves, so they have a, this is a small like a rope, it will be there. So if they want to get up themselves, they will be able to get up using this one. And if they want to get up by holding the side railings, they can get up using this one. Then they have something called high back chair, that is back support will be very tall. So these people, it will be easy for them to sit, and easy for them to sit comfortably with a lot of support. Okay, then wheelchair cushions. So wheelchair cushions also you can use it, so that if they are sitting in the wheelchair for very long time, so it should not affect their if it should not affect their body. So for that also you can use this. Then space enclosure. So space enclosure means like the regarding the rooms and other things. So first thing is regarding the floor. So floor is obviously, it should not be non slippery, because if they are whenever they are walking, if it is slippery, they may fall down. And especially during night time, there will be lot of falls. So to avoid that, you go for non slippery floorings throughout the room. Even in the bathrooms also, you need to be very careful to have a non-slippery bathrooms. Then, uh, like for people who are using any walking aid or anything, they should not have any slippery floors. So you need to be very careful in designing the floors. Then, in the surface, even the surface should be very even. That means it should not have any ups and downs. It should be very even without any heavy designs. So if it is having heavy designs, sometimes they will not be able to judge the difference. Sometimes they will not be able to judge the floorings and other thing. So you need to be very careful regarding this. So if heavy designs are there, it will be hindering their eyesight, and it may hindering their it may hindering their uh, like vision or judgment whenever they are walking. So they need to be very careful regarding this. Then they can go for small tiles which will be providing the friction, and which will be helping them to judge. And the tiles also should be of equal size. So one room, if it is having a bigger one, another room if it is having a smaller one, then it may affect. So you need to see to that the tiles are of same size throughout the house. Then avoid carpet for people who are using wheelchair, and avoid the thickness of more than 0.5. So in case if you are using a carpet also, it should not be more than 0.5. So more than 0.5, they will not be able to ride over with a wheelchair. Then the doors always should not be opening one, and should never be a double side opening one. It should be a single side opening 1 to 180 degrees, or else you should have a sliding windows without any projections. And the window handle should be very convenient to reachable. The door should be like easily opened up with sliding doors or a folding doors with a proper handle. It should not be like a hook kind of a handle. It should be a closed hook kind of handle. Okay, then only they will be able to hold it and open it. And they should not have any round knobs, so that it is very difficult for them to open the round one. Then light should be a little higher intensity than normal. Adequate lighting should be there near the entrance, so that in night times they can locate the door properly. Then light switches should be at 3 feet above the floor, so, or near the door and uniformly located. So it should be always like they should be aware. Like after 3 feet, definitely there will be a switch, or the electrical plugins will be there. Then near the doors also they should have the switches, so that once they enter into the room, they can switch on the light, then easily they can enter. So it's very very important. Then the tap or rocker switches are the best for hand impairment. So you should not go for a modernized switches. You should go for the olden ones, a rocker kind of a switch. So that only will be easy for the people who are having hand impairment to on it. Then bathroom light should be outside, so that when they enter itself, they can switch on the light and they go inside. Then the kitchen should be like very wider enough, and it should allow the wheelchair to go inside. So people with a wheelchair also need to go inside the kitchen. So it has to be that much bigger. Then the fridge, sink, everything should be arranged in a U shape. Okay, I'll show you the video so that you can have a good understanding. So it should be arranged in a U shape, so that they can go into the kitchen in a wheelchair, they can turn around, then they can do their works. And it should be of a proper height, so when they go in the wheelchair also, it should not hinder their reaching. So it should be in such a way that such a height, in such a way that the it is not hindering the wheelchair movement, or while sitting in the wheelchair itself you can do the activities. And the cabinets, everything should be arranged properly over the oven or the over the stove, so that easily the people can reach out to the particular things. Then sink, kitchen sink should be 4 feet deep. We should have a knee clearance, otherwise when they sit and when they move in front, the knee may hitting the sink. So you need to be very careful. See to that the sink is having a knee clearance. Okay, so you need to get a stable step stool, so that when they climb up, they should not fall, it should not slip. And you need to have easy flooring, so that when they spill something, it should be cleaned immediately and it should be cleaned easily. And natural ventilation and good lighting should be there in the kitchen. Bedroom, again, it should be having a wider pathway, and with the wheelchair they should be able to reach the bed, and the bed should be broader, so that from the wheelchair it is easy for them to get inside the bed. And the night lamps, telephone, calling bell, medicines, etc. should be kept near the bed in a table, so that they will be able to reach properly, and they are able to reach the items properly near the table. Okay, then reading table should have a knee clearance. Again, all the tables should have a knee clearance, so that when they move inside near the table with the wheelchair, they will be able to reach the table properly. Okay, and it should have a good lighting, and the switches also should be easily reachable. The night lamps also should be fixed properly. Either it should be sensor, or it should be having a rocker switch. Then the walkway can have a gripper, and it should have a whole hand railing, so that suddenly if they want to walk also, they should be able to hold it and walk. They can also have a portable commode, in case if they have micturition frequency in night, they can go use the commode. Because by the time they reach the toilet, by the time they move into the wheelchair, move to the toilet, it will take long time, and they may spoil their clothes. So they can have a portable commode near the bed during night time there. So this is about the public. So the public in the public spaces, for example, if they have a telephone booth, then the receivers with amplifiers for hearing impaired can be used. So that means the telephone should have a amplifiers. So the people who are having hearing impaired will be able to use it properly. Then button should be like push button rather than rotating button. So maybe in the olden telephones you would have seen a rotating type of telephone. So you cannot use that because it will be very difficult for them to rotate. So rather than that, they can go for the push button so that it is easy for them to dial the numbers. Then regarding the transport should be like bigger enough to accommodate the wheelchair. So people who are going in a wheelchair also can utilize the bus or a public transport. So it should be wider enough so that the wheelchair can enter inside. Okay, that is one. Another thing is it should have ample space to store the wheelchair, crutches, walkers, and other things. So and the lower height for wheelchair access also should be there. That means the transport should have a ramp facility so that the people with wheelchair will be able to get inside the bus or any train or any other aspect. Then restaurants definitely should have a ramp and elevators, and it should have enough space for wheelchair people to move around. Then theaters also need to have a vacant space for wheelchair near the door. So that means the people who will be sitting in the wheelchair can go inside. Either if they want to use the same wheelchair, they can use the same wheelchair in the vacant space and watch the movie. Otherwise, they will also be able to otherwise they will also be able to sit near the or they will also be able to uh, go to the like vacant place and park their wheelchair and watch the movie. Okay, so ramp is a must in all the public spaces, and special traffic signal for wheelchair users also can be should be there. Okay, so these are the essentials in the public space. So like this. So this is a, wheelchair signal. This is for special chairs for people who are having wheelchair, who are disabled. Then there's a special area where the people who are having sensory difficulties can walk. It's a pathway. And these are the steps. And sometimes, like nowadays, we have a motorized one, which will be like this. So once you open this and make the person to sit in that, automatically through the ramp, it will be moving up, and it may leave you in the upper space. Like you don't need to climb up. So automatic elevators with sitting facilities. So we know elevators will be there, but in elevators we need to do in standing. But here we'll in this kind of elevators you can do in sitting. So these are must. So these are the ramps in between the steps. Okay, so can you see here the height and the elevation of the ramp should be always 5 to 8, and it should have enough space to turn around. Exactly. Yeah. So like this kind of ramp facility is a very must in all the places. And this is a pathway where you can go like stadium or any other place also should have a ramp so the wheelchair users can access. So these are the inequalities. Sometimes when they don't have wheelchair access or ramps, it will be like this. The people have to carry them, so it's a very difficult one. So you can see the problem here. They have the bathrooms for wheelchair users, but it is of a in a different height, and there is an opening in front, so these people cannot enter inside. So these are some of the things which we have to avoid, and these are some of the things which we have to use it in the public area. So let me show you some videos so that you get little more clear picture. 1 minute. So first is wheelchair accessible toilets.
This animation explains requirements for acceptance. Accessible toilet rooms in the ADA and ABA standards. Accessible toilet rooms must be on an accessible route and have compliant doors so that people with disabilities, including those who use wheelchairs, can enter the space. Required clearances provide sufficient room to enter, clear the door, turn around, and close and lock the door. The clear floor space required at water closets accommodates a variety of transfers, including side transfers. Transfer techniques vary among users based on personal preferences and abilities, room layout, and other factors. Grab bars on the side and rear walls are critical for transfer. Flush controls must be located on the open side of the water closet. Clearances are also required at lavatories and other elements, including soap dispensers, towel dispensers, and hand dryers. The standards include criteria for the usability of faucet controls and other operable parts. Door maneuvering clearances provide room to approach and open doors, and to exit the space. The size of single-user toilet rooms is determined by room layout, configuration of fixtures, the swing of doors, and other factors. Water closets can be located in any corner of the room so that one side is open and unobstructed. The lavatory must be located outside the water closet clearance. This keeps the space beside the water closet open for side transfers. The lavatory clear space, however, can overlap the water closet clearance. Lavatories can be recessed so they remain outside the water closet clearance. To accommodate this configuration, the rear grab bar at the water closet is permitted to be shortened from 36 inches to 24 inches minimum. The maneuvering clearance required at doors is configured according to the swing and approach. This space must be clear of any obstructions, but can overlap other clearances. Doors can swing into fixture clearances only if clear floor space at least 30 inches by 48 inches is available beyond the swing. This ensures sufficient space to clear the door when entering the room. The location and orientation of this space is not further specified, but it should be positioned so that it can be easily accessed. Turning space is required within the room. Turning space must be either a 60-inch diameter circle or a T-shape. This space can overlap fixture and door maneuvering clearances. Doors can swing into the turning space under any condition. Rooms with doors that swing out usually can be smaller since less maneuvering clearance is required on the push side of doors. On the push side, a strike side clearance of at least 12 inches is required for a forward approach if the door has both a closer and a latch. Otherwise, no strike side clearance is required on the push side. Where doors swing out, turning space may further determine the minimum size of the room. Lavatories and other fixtures with knee and toe space can overlap a portion of the turning space. These requirements apply to all types of room layouts. For example, in the case of a room with a lavatory opposite the water closet, the same requirements apply, including minimum clearances at the water closet and the lavatory and any other provided fixtures, door maneuvering clearance unobstructed by any fixtures, location of the door swing outside fixture clearances, unless wheelchair space beyond the door swing is provided in the room, and turning space, which can overlap fixture and door clearances and the arc of the door swing. These requirements apply equally to other layouts. In this example, the door swing can overlap fixture clearances because wheelchair space is available beyond the door swing. Access is required to multi-user toilet rooms where provided, even if other accessible restrooms are available. At least one lavatory must be accessible. A compliant urinal is required where more than one urinal is provided. At least one toilet compartment must be wheelchair accessible in all multi-user restrooms. The compartment opening is offset from the water closet to provide space for entry and positioning for transfer. Toe clearance below one side partition and the front partition provides additional maneuvering space. A second compartment is required in rooms with 6 or more toilet compartments or a combined total of 6 or more compartments and urinals. This compartment is designed for people with disabilities who are ambulatory. It features a self-closing door that swings out and parallel grab bars that provide support on both sides. Further guidance on accessible toilet rooms and other requirements in the ADA and ABA standards is available from the U.S. Access Board.
Okay, so each country will be having their own kind of designs, and people who are working towards this rehabilitation should follow the guidelines so that they are designing it properly in the beginning. Okay, so we will see one more regarding the kitchen or like how home, wheelchair accessible homes.
A home that we've designed specifically for people with disabilities or aged care mobility issues. Our vision is to make everyday living as easy and comfortable as you can. You'll notice the front door entrance nice and wide. One of the features of the house is no step at the front door. That's vital in all of our entries and exits. We've also included a combination lock on the door. It's multiple codes. You can put in as many codes as you require. Everyone can come and go independently. You'll know who comes and goes, and they've got their own code. One of the common features to this house is all of our wide doorways. Flooring, all at one level. There are no variances in the floor greater than 5 mil. With specifications on this particular home, we've hit the highest level of platinum, which is in Australian design regulations to accommodate wheelchair access throughout the home. You'll notice in this room there's plenty of room to move around the bed. Easy access coming into the walk-in robe. The walk-in robes can be adjusted to anyone's requirements, additionally putting in drawers, changing heights of the rails, and obviously allows for plenty of storage. Some of the features of the ensuite in here is obvious, and that is plenty of room to move. A high-raised toilet bowl, which is specific design to a lot of hospitals, nursing homes. It gives you extra height in the toilet. The reinforced rails can be located anywhere on the walls in the bathrooms and en-suites in any location that suits your individual needs. All the issues like people with bad arthritis, being able to manipulate switches, they're easily done without trying to find small buttons on them. The shower head is obviously hose and adjustable, and again the tapware is all easily managed for people with general mobility coordination. Wheelchair access under the vanity is very important. People have their independence and get.
This is called knee clearance. This should be there even in the kitchen and other things.
Getting ready for a day's adventure is always important, and to be able to do it comfortably. Another extra feature of the house is the video entrance door lock. We've installed a security camera which can also remotely open the front door lock. So easily a voice control and camera to see who's coming and going. All of our door hardware has been chosen for easy operation. Not having great mobility in the hands is a big restriction. Here, things can be done easily if you haven't got full hand mobility. Again, through some of our design specifications, we've got the easy access wide entrances right through the main traffic areas of the house. Ovens at a height that's easily managed. A big feature is wheelchair accessibility to the kitchen sink to ensure that we get the access, comfortable access at a comfortable height, but not only for people limited to a chair, but for the average person. Dishwasher buttons have been looked at to make sure they're manageable with any mobility to hand issues. In the main living area, it's accessible by chair or walking frame around the furniture. The laundry washing combination drying machine makes that daily task all that much easier. We've also included an ironing board cupboard, which we think, again, being one of those daily tasks for independence, it's easily accessible, it's out of the way, you're not fighting, dragging out ironing boards from cupboards and plugging in irons. Another great feature is the one level flooring throughout the house from inside coming out. You can come straight out one level to get to the clothesline and all the outside area. This path leading over the clothesline area, so again, those daily tasks can be performed easily. The garage easily accommodates any size vehicle. Again, with easy access in and out of the vehicle. Remote doors, direct access.
Then one more, you can see like how they have modified the kitchen for a spinal cord injury patient.
My name's Carol. I was injured 3.5 years ago. My level of injury is T8, so I am paraplegic. And this is my house. I spent almost 6 months, well, 5.5 months in the Foothills Hospital. And while I was in hospital, I thought a lot about what needed to be done to the house, first of all, to get me home. And then second of all, I, once home, thought about how to make my house most livable. After I was home, one of my friends who is an interior designer did drawings of the layout of the house, but also because I was doing a big renovation. She put me on the drawings as being able to move around in my chair, so I knew how much room I needed to best access the house. So my renovation was done in phases, really. The first phase was what was necessary to get me home. And the bathroom really was the big part of getting me into the house so that I was independent in the bathing. In the bedroom, the really important feature for me was the super pole. This is I even named it Vlad because he's a super pole. And really key for transferring to the bed, moving around in bed. And a great thing that I've had attached is a remote control for the lights. Because I had just a wall switch for the lighting in this room, the remote allows me to put it on, and then once I'm ready to sleep, turn it off. It's fabulous. Also in my super pole, I have a little bag where I keep my house phone. And also, because I'm diabetic, I keep my blood sugar meter, keeps everything that I need for emergencies accessible to me while I'm in the bed. Another modification I had to do was for the bed. I bought a low-profile box spring and a lower mattress so that I could easily manage the space between the level of my wheelchair, the level of the bed, for ease of transfers. Before I got hurt, the master bedroom had an ensuite as well then as the master bathroom that came off the hallway. What I did, and this was based on recommendations from Accessible Housing, was combine the ensuite and the master bath and then have two entrances. One entrance from my bedroom and the other entrance was still off the main hallway. Okay, so I can enter the bathroom from my bedroom, and we took the ensuite bathroom and really closed it in and made the roll-in shower from that space. And then the master bathroom, we don't have a tub in here anymore, just the roll-in shower and then the other pieces because the tub didn't fit any longer. Prior to discharge, I had replaced the bathroom with a ADA toilet and an accessible sink. My house was built in the late 50s, and so the kitchen was enclosed. There was an opening here, but when I renovated, I really wanted to open the whole space up. We took a wall out, had an engineered beam put in as well as a support post. So it was a little more work and a little more costly, but it gave me a really open, nice, beautiful space. When I was in the hospital, staff from the CPA came and spoke to us, and I viewed on the computer the Odyssey videos of home renovations, and those were extremely valuable to me. So a lot of what I did in my kitchen was directly related to what I saw on the CPA videos prior to discharge and even after I was discharged. Much of my kitchen renovation really was influenced by Jeffrey, who came and spoke in the hospital to us, and now there's a CPA video of his kitchen. So a lot of my stuff is directly related to what I saw from him, including the cooktop. One thing that I came up with, I don't know whether it was influenced by others, but this is not a handle for a drawer. What it's meant to do is to allow me to pull myself without having to roll or steer. And then I have another one here to get me right from the kitchen to the kitchen table with ease. So when I have, for example, a cup of coffee in my hand, I can wheel through my kitchen without spilling a drop, essentially, and being safe but mobile again with these pull bars. This cooktop for me is easy to use. Put the pots and pans on. I also have a sweet hood fan equivalent that pops up and allows the smoke and anything that happens when I'm cooking to be taken out of the kitchen. Again, influenced by what I saw when I was in the hospital, I had the kitchen all done with the pulled down shelves. This one in this corner is a little heavier because I do keep the, what are they called, canisters in here. So this one is the one where it's a little more dicey in terms of the weight, but the pull downs still handle what I've put on them. And with the design of these pull downs, there's not a lot of wear and tear on my muscles or shoulders because they come down so easily. My kitchen sink is fully accessible. I can roll under. I've also got the pull out so that I can use the water. I can fill, for example, if I have a pot here on the stove, on this cupboard, I can pull this out, fill it with water, swing it over to the cooktop and easily, cook spaghetti, noodles, anything like that. Within the kitchen, all of the counters were designed for me in a wheelchair, so they're lower than the standard kitchen counters. And I do, on that side of the kitchen with the island, have a nice food preparation area that's lower even than these counters on this side. So this space is easy to use. I have granite all around, so I can even do food prep, cooking, cutting right on the granite surface, or use a cutting board, whatever works best. This is where I keep all of the dishes, so plates, bowls, cups, and then in the bottom drawer is more of my food prep, the bigger bowls and measuring stuff. I also really like how these drawers have, come all the way out. I can fill each of them full. And then I have the cupboard pullouts. Again, a lot of my choices were influenced by what I saw on the CPA website in the videos. This is the Richelieu hardware that allows great storage for pots, pans, and other big items, and all easily accessible for me. My kitchen garbage just slides out. It's back in here. And then the last corner is another a Lazy Susan, but really with so much capacity, top and bottom, both space as well as the ability to carry a lot of weight. And this just turns 360 degrees, goes right back in, and settles into place quite beautifully. With all of the cupboards, I actually had them custom done by a cabinet maker. When I was looking at a table, I wanted something that my wheelchair would slide under, and this one I found at Bracco Brothers, actually. It's maple as well, matches the cupboards, and is a beautiful table, perfect for the wheelchair size that I'm in. When I was injured, this whole area was carpeted, and we had laminate in the kitchen and dining room. But after I got hurt, the carpet was too hard to wheel on, so I did a replacement with cork flooring throughout the whole house. We did it in phases, but it really is easy to wheel on and a nice look. I love the cork. This used to be a fourth bedroom in our bungalow, but when I got hurt, I could not get outside at the back using the existing door. So we added an additional back door in this room and also converted it to a laundry room with a front loading washer and dryer so that I could do my own laundry. The challenge with a front-loading washer for me was that I couldn't see where you put the soap in, and so it was very hard for me to actually do my own laundry. But my uncle designed this mirror, so it's just a mirror on a metal thing, and then it's on a huge magnet here. And with this mirror, I can see in to see where the soap goes, where the fabric softener goes, and bleach, so I can actually easily do my own laundry now. At the front of the house, I have a lift that I can just easily roll from the sidewalk right onto the lift, up, and then into the house. I don't use the front lift as much in the winter because of parking in the garage. But the other thing that we did get when I had the railings made for the front step was to get a gate. Whoa! Sorry. Get a gate put in so that this way, when the lift is down, the gate is closed so that no one can fall and injure themselves through that open space. So yes, I love my front. I love the way we've widened the sidewalk. It really is super accessible, and I can have all the paraplegic, quadriplegic guests over to my house that I want.
Okay, actually, this is what rehabilitation is. That is, after a spinal cord injury, after the medical management, the PT management or the other rehabilitation team members will be working. They will make them to be independent in a wheelchair. Then at last they have to modify their household also. So again, it depends on the financial background or the sponsors which they are getting. But still, this is the complete rehabilitation is. So that's what I wanted to show you the video. So from the hospitals, then to the house and modification in the house. So till that, the rehabilitation will end at this point once they have become independent in their household activities. So not only this, since this lady is very old and not working, they have just modified the house. But in case like if they are a working younger one who needs to go for work, then along with the house again it will continue till they are getting a proper job, and in the job also they are able to modify their working environment and they are able to make him to work independently. So when they are working independently, then it means they have to be using the transport also independently. So till that, your rehabilitation will be continuing. Okay, so it's not just a mere rehabilitation in the physiotherapy department. It just continues till we are able to make the person independently to do their work as much as possible. So it cannot be normal to the normal level, but it can be to the near normal level. Okay, so I have few more videos, but we don't have time now, so I will upload in the LMS by today. Okay, so you can have a look. Then tomorrow, if you have any doubt, then we can discuss in tomorrow's class. So we have 3 more topics. 2 topics I'll be able to complete tomorrow. Then we will have a revision of for the midsem. Then next week I will be able to complete the other one topic. And at the end, before your final exam, because I know that your final exam will be coming later, so before your final exam, I just want to have a revision class. Maybe we can have separately, because assets R7 will go for their posting and the other batch will not go for the posting. So we can have a final revision before your study week. So just give me a reminder or just message me when is your final week, so that we can have a final revision. Is that clear? Okay, thank you.